ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Turning Point Impact Show. Before I get started, I'll make this very short because you already probably saw my other video knowing that one of my cats had to be put to sleep. I needed some time to just step back from doing reviews because I was pretty upset. I mean, I had her for a very long time, and to me, she was my family. And I also had to learn about her daughter. Had 2 cats. So I had to learn what Susanna, that's the other cat's name, what she was like without a mother around, because she's always been with her since the day she was born. So it's been a bit of an experience for me. And anyone who's worried about me, I'm okay. So thank you for anyone who thought about it but may not been able to make a comment or was too pissed off because of how Google has readjusted the comment system. I was pissed off about it myself. I'm not fond of it, but I have heard that there are some good benefits to the way they're doing it through Google+. So I'm just going to go from there and hopefully everything will work out. Now this impact, this turning point in many people's lives, baby. How do we feel about it? Oh, there was only one thing I cared about, and you know what it was. So I will be doing that at the end of this review. What do we get in the beginning? We got a little segment of seeing Storm get his ass handed to him by Robert Roode in a bar at Orlando, Florida. Now we know they're going to do a couple of shows at Orlando, and they're still going to be traveling around periodically. I would rather not let them. Well, if I was there, I would say, I don't want to do this. Let's just find a way to save a little bit more money and not go back to Orlando to do this work. The best option would be to do Orlando maybe 3 months, 2 or 3 months out of the year. I would say 2 months. They're back at Orlando, and the rest of the time, they just need to be traveling. That's what I'm hoping for. 2 or 3 months of Orlando, the rest of the time let them travel around the country and then go to Europe. But we saw Storm got his ass handed to him. Oh yes we did. So what did we get? We got Dixie at the very beginning of the show going in the ring, and I have to say this. Dixie at first, when she started being a heel, was very, very awkward about it. But now she's beginning to get into it. She may not be a very great actress, but she is getting heat. And I find that very good. I'm very happy Dixie's doing the job. She's doing very well. And then seeing Storm come out and say pretty much, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to call the cops. And then your show's going to be a piece of shit without me there or Robert Roode there. So he wanted a Orlando, what was it, death match? Not like we hadn't had death matches or bull rope matches before, because that was on the Wheel of Dixie, a bull rope match. I don't know if the bull rope match would have gotten over better than this death match. It might have done pretty well, but here I think they did make a decent choice. So let's get into that match. Robert Roode versus James Storm in a death match. It was a very good match. Seeing Storm talk to Gunner earlier saying he's got his back made me realize there had to be something going on. They wouldn't just show Gunner for no apparent reason. They haven't had nothing to do together. Even though they're still stating on, what is it, TNA 365, whatever, that they're buddies. But when I saw Storm about to get pretty much FU'd, if you're going to use the Alabama slam in that way, into some barbed wire, and then you see a Gunner come out and say, no, 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 throws in the towel. And I thought they don't do that anymore. But it looks like they still do. I knew that was going to be a feud in the making. There is no way James Storm is not going to have a feud with Gunner now. It may take some time to build up, but this is going to be the question. Will Gunner turn heel, or will Storm turn heel? My guess is Storm is going to turn a heel. We are about to have a Storm and Robert Roode pairing back up together again, because I think they have no option. I said this quite a long time ago that having Storm and Robert Roode separate for quite a while will be alright, but eventually they're going to have to come back together. I thought maybe as faces they would come back together. That was around 2012. But now it may be possible they may come together as heels. Because if you're trying to get a new TNA star up and running and a gunner, you need someone that has some star power in the James Storm. It actually will be very good. Now the next match was Samoa Joe and Magnus. I'm doing this out of order. It was good to see that match. I can say this. Seeing them really pushing a Magnus, that they're really scaling him up to be possibly the TNA World Champion and then facing a AJ Styles, who I will get to in a few minutes, is actually a very good thing to see. I'm telling you, the match was not the most top quality, but it was good. The crowd, I have to admit though, through Orlando was not that good. I'm sorry. Even though seeing a guy zip up his zipper at the time when Dixie was up, maybe he got a little horny thinking about Dixie Carter, and then seeing a guy with a mohawk with multicolored hair could not hide the fact that the crowd was not that hyped for this. There was diehard TNA fans in the very beginning of the road, yes, but when you look farther back in the crowd, there wasn't that many people cheering. That wasn't happening. So that kind of took away from the match, as well as the match was really good. And the ending leaves a question mark for Magnus, where I don't have a problem with. But I just felt like there was something else missing from it. Maybe it's because Sting wasn't there. Never know. The next thing I want to talk about was Joseph Park. And what the fuck was TNA thinking? This is just my perception. You guys tell me below. I'm hoping that I'm 100% wrong in my assumption right now. Seeing Joseph Park go up against Abyss for Turning Point was very interesting. How the fuck were they going to pull this off? Seeing that Bad Influence had to come out and make it work wasn't that bad of a deal. But I expected if they were going to finally end this with Joseph Park and finally flip over to Abyss, they would allow Joseph Park to literally manifest himself into Abyss. That someone found maybe the Abyss mask in the back, and someone may have seen him put the mask on and take it off. But that didn't happen here. What did we get? We actually got Joseph Park being humiliated by Kaz and Daniels. Seeing fake blood poured all over him and being told he's nothing but a loser. You are nothing. You are not even worthy of being in my ring in this state and on this planet. Get out of here. I admit Christopher Daniels as a heel is so damn better than Christopher Daniels as a face. I hope they never turn him back to face again. And if they do, make it damn short because he's way better. But here's my question. If Joseph Park is still around, I'm fine with it. If they're still going to show him, like I said before, when Kane took off the mask in front of a RVD and showed that evil look with the black stuff on his eyes, and he went and choke slammed the hell out of RVD, and they're going to do this with Eric Young, I don't have a problem with it. Even though it may sound really corny, it makes sense for storyline and character development. But if we do not get this, and this is the end of Joseph Park and only Abyss comes back, just doesn't make any sense storyline wise. We had made it so that Joseph Park, and I'm talking about TNA, and us perceiving it, we have been seeing and they have been making the Joseph Park character show teases of becoming Abyss. This is what a lot of people expect. Now, it would be alright if it was a kind of like a curveball in another type of situation, but in this situation, I don't buy it. It doesn't make a sense. They need him to manifest himself as Abyss or be unmasked and be shown as Abyss. Not Abyss. Abyss. Sorry, I've been not feeling very well. I actually have a cold. But you get my point. I'd like to know what your thoughts about this is. Now I'm going to talk about EC3, Ethan Collar III, the one that'll save us. And seeing him with the two jobbers and saying, I can't fight you no more. I got myself a legend from past TNA. Goes out to the ring and say, one of the founding members of TNA is here. We didn't know who the hell that was. Give me a show, yeah. I never had a chance, and I've said this clearly. I had only just got back into watching wrestling around 2002, and I was mostly watching WWE. I didn't see TNA until around 2009 to 2010. And as you can see, my Genesis, 2006. I loved that sucker to death. But I never got a chance to see, I'm about to say Hellboy, Sharkboy. Never got a chance to see his character. And I wish I'd had. Because the concept of messing with a Steve Austin is actually quite good. A little parody of him is nothing wrong with it. And then we got Ethan Carter III destroying. Oh man, he did a pretty good job taking out Sharkboy. But where does this lead? I believe it still leads to Sting. Sting left the little hint, I am going to take care of those who believe they're entitled. So let's just hope it does work that way and Sting puts this boy over clean. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is Samuel Shaw with a gourd. Oh my. Look, I still love my Micah Jane. You know I have love for a Naomi. Yes, I do. I love Naomi with a passion. As much as I don't really want to see much of Total Divas, I look at it just for her because I want to see my Naomi. I basically fast forward through almost everything if it's not Naomi. But seeing a Christy Hemme in the ring and that dress turned my crank so much I almost had a blood pressure explosion. Looks so damn good. And then seeing her with Samuel Shaw was a very interesting situation here. He has a new look. He has a new persona. Either he's the neat freak or he's the methodical crazy man that's going to be stalking a Christy Hemme. I'm hoping for a stalking for Christy Hemme because they don't do anything with her except something on 365 or something like Dare to Dream where she does interviews. This actually could be very compelling that brings a knockout into the being. If she can wrestle anymore or not, it'll be something new that we need. Seeing him realign his sticky notes with his pens after he got the number of Christy Hemme. I would love to know what that number was. I want to see what's going to happen with this. Are they going to show him stalking her or manipulating, controlling her? Who will be coming to her rescue? Let's stand by and watch, ladies and gentlemen. The thing that was a bit disappointing, actually very disappointing, was the knockouts match between Gail Kim and I believe her name was Cameron Leah. Wait, Leah? Leah. I think I'm pronouncing her name wrong. But the problem was not that Leda Tapa didn't do much. The problem wasn't that Gail Kim didn't do much. The problem was Candice Marie, Marie, I believe. Marie, I can't remember her name. But she was the problem. She was so choppy and so timid while working with Gail Kim. It completely threw off the match for me personally. I'm sorry, it did. I believe she's over in OVW. And she's probably been there for at least a year or two. But she was so awkward. I'm sorry. So many false starts, stops. It looked so bad. It didn't make a difference. That's a new knockout that's coming into TNA. Maybe she was nervous. But in fact, it looked so bad on a themed pay-per-view Impact. It did not work right. We needed more from her and we did not get it. One of the Blossom twins, and I managed to catch some of that last week. It was quite difficult because my cat was very sick at the time and I was kind of not myself. So I didn't really see all of that match. But she did a way better match than Candice did. I'm sorry. I want to see more knockouts in the division. I'm hoping they bring even more people that are from OVW. Hell, go to fucking Shine, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the other women's pro wrestling companies. Pull some people in. Please, I'm hoping they bring Awesome Kong back. And that will scare the shit out of everybody because eventually, Awesome Kong versus Leda Tapa for the Knockouts fucking championship. Yeah! That's what we need. Oh, that felt good. But you get my point. Now, what was left? Well, the only thing left to talk about is what is the most important thing. Well, actually, no. The second most important thing. AJ Styles and the friends of AJ. Want to get this done. I love it. I didn't say it before in my last reviews about AJ Styles and the friends of AJ because they hadn't brought it up. And like I said, I didn't do my review last week. Just wasn't myself. But seeing they're doing this with AJ Styles, him going to AAA, I believe he went over New Japan Pro Wrestling. I could be wrong about which promotion he went to. But I know he went to AAA. It was wonderful to see him there. If they had allowed CM Punk to do this, it would have done so much more for the wrestling promotions. If they let him go to New Japan and be basically done there, and if he gone to AAA, no matter if they are promotions, if Vince had the vision to let him do what he did years ago, remember, he went over to, I believe, the AWA and over to Georgia Championship Wrestling, and he let his own people be on those shows, even though he did not win. Well, you know what I mean. He didn't really buy Georgia Championship Wrestling. It still made a huge impact in the business. If they had done this, AJ doing this is marvelous. It's giving a new dynamic to TNA and to the other promotions. You don't always see them with another championship. Yes, Jeff Jarrett did it with AAA and did it back in 2011, going 2012, but that was Jeff Jarrett, and that was the AAA title. They don't see it that much in the United States. Not saying if they don't do it on satellite or if they don't do it on the internet. This is TNA, and that made a huge impact. Can't wait to see who's the champion in TNA to face AJ in unification. Now the final thing that I've been waiting to talk about. Oh my God. Yeah, baby. Oh, I've been waiting for this. I was really feeling sad on Thursday. I admit it. I still had frustrations about losing my baby. But when I decided to look at wrestling. I did decide to look at TNA. And the show wasn't that bad at that point. But when it came to this, I'm thinking, oh, Anderson is not going to win this. It's not going to happen. But then what happened just made my blood pump. My blood pump worked. Bully Ray versus Anderson. And now Anderson is wearing pants or trunks, long trunks. Tell me below if you don't think those trunks don't look like Mankind's trunks back in 1998 when he faced The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell and got thrown off the damn cell. Those look exactly like it, except for on the, I believe, his right side, he has Anderson and a big patch of an A near his crotch. But the same color and they're wearing the same damn boots. Looks exactly the same to me. You guys tell me below. The match was good, but it doesn't matter about the match. Doesn't. As much as you could say the match made this work very well or didn't make this work very well, it don't make a damn difference. All that matters is one thing. First, Mike Knox gets pile drived into the ground and got his cut taken off. That's number one. Two, we got the gorgeous, the glorious Brooke trying to throw in the Bolteen hammer so her man can knock the hell out of Anderson, but overestimates the distance, and Anderson knocks his ass out and pins his ass. 1, 2, 3. We get disbanded, ladies and gentlemen. That was number 2. That was the greatest thing. But it was not the greatest thing. Getting that cut ripped off his ass. Bully Ray. And then they going over to get the Taz cut. I've been waiting for such a fucking long time for Taz to get that shit off his back and shut the fuck up. I've been waiting for that shit. You have no idea how long I could not stand fucking Taz. And I'm sure he's still going to act like a stupid motherfucker. I'm sorry for all the cursing throughout this review. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Because I'm tired of Taz acting stupid. I'm tired of it. And now, he's probably going to still talk like he's stupid with Aces and Eights for a couple of weeks at least. But he will be ending with Aces and Eights. He'll probably go back to a heel commentator. I don't care if he does. No more Aces and Eights. That was the finest moment. And now next week we got to see what's going to happen with the funeral Aces and Eights. What do we got here? A decent show. I give it a B. But the thing that made this show work the best was finally ending Aces and Eights. What also made things work very well was seeing AJ being promoted so well. The matches throughout the night were pretty good, but I have to admit, there weren't enough people on the show. During the ending match of Bully Ray and Anderson, we got 7 people coming out. Where was Austin Aries? Where? You could have James Storm came out. Why not? Should have came out. What the hell happened to the X Division guys in Kenneth King? Long live the King if he's still there. About Manic. About it upset me. There was only 7 people and one whoever it was back there. They should have allowed there should have been more people there. It could bring that down, but because Ace and Name's been disbanded, it doesn't matter. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane view and subscribe and comment to my channel. I will be doing my Survivor Series review. I'm not doing a preview. I don't have enough time, and I still have things to sort out. You guys take care and have a good day.